Man, that Andrade situation is insane. If true, there is no way in hell a 1 year no compete clause in such a unique industry will hold up in court. But WWE lawyers will drag it on as long as possible, and AEW will likely not risk putting him on TV just in case. I guess the one silver lining is the reports seem to indicate it's exclusively to the US. So AEW can likely work out some sort of deal with La Sombra's former promotions, CMLL or New Japan, so it keeps off the ring rust and isn't being paid to sit at home. That's one silver lining. Let's see if we can add another by introducing you to the youngest active member of the Moro family. Someone who somehow hasn't even got a cage match page yet. And as we all know, literally everyone has a cage match page. Now, the Moro family is pretty big. It all started with Jose Andrade Estrada, better known as El Moro, and the patriarch of the family, who would go on to train many of his sons and grandsons. Now, Lucha Libre can be confusing, with fake family, changing names, gimmicks, marriages, divorces, godparents, I was your dog's babysitter once upon a time, etc. Family relations are a little bit loose. Because of this, many Lucha Libre family trees can, of course, be a little hard to read. For the sake of the video, I'll just use Lucha Wiki's tree as it's probably the most accurate I've come across. El Moro's sons include a man I've already covered, Jesus Andrade Salas, wink wink, nudge nudge, subtle hint, go watch a video on the man better known as Espanto Jr., the original Pentagon, and the man Triple A repeatedly aired the footage where he temporarily died in ring. Stay classy, Triple A. Beyond Espanto Jr., you also had Brillante, Moro 3, Zafiro 2, and of course, Kevin, as well as at least 4 of his sons. The third generation included Zafiro Jr., Espanto Jr., not to be confused with his father, Espanto Jr., Andrade / La Sombra, Gemma, and Diamante Jr., not to be confused with Diamante, the man who married in and later divorced from the family of the 9,673 other wrestlers also named Diamante. Which then leads us to the fourth generation of Brillante Jr., a 24-year-old luchador who's become a CMLL regular in the last few years, and the focus of this video, Lady Shadow. Now, the problem with these want-to-watch videos is I typically pick out a young wrestler who's yet to get massive exposure, making it a bit difficult to highlight who and what they are, due to their greenness and limited time in front of fans. Which means I normally focus on one attribute that makes them stand out above the rest. Bozilla's size, Chelwa's technical mastery, Nathan Angel's look, and Lady Shadow is no different, with her family legacy being a massive selling point. However, unlike those prior three, Lady Shadow is a relative unknown to me. I'd watched Bozilla and Angel in person multiple times, while Chelwa and Bozilla had made breaks in relatively well-known promotions, meaning plenty of footage exists of their work. I don't have that luxury of Lady Shadow. I don't live in Mexico. And at just 17, yet to make her break in a major promotion, there isn't exactly a massive, widely available back catalogue of her matches. But that's not to say you can't find evidence of her talent and that she's only here as a nepo pick. Up until a few weeks ago, you could find the occasional match and highlight from some smaller shows, most notably Mass Lucha. For those unaware, Mass Lucha is an internet wrestling show that airs a decent amount of content right here on YouTube. Features a number of pretty big name luchadors many non-fans wouldn't expect for a relatively unknown promotion. And in the decades since its formation, it has been the place for many young unknown luchadors to make their name. And just this week, they held their annual Supreme Tournament, which Lady Shadow won, highlighting her as someone to keep an eye on. And combine that with her AAA debut a few months ago at a smaller event, it's clear someone who doesn't have a cage match page and only a handful of matches available to watch is about to get a lot more exposure. When Andrade is locked up in legal battles, the Andrade family name is free to fly, with Lady Shadow, who is on the ascension. And I truly believe the sky is the limit.